Hey Gemini, it's Regina here at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut. I'm here to talk to you about the month of September using tarot and astrology for everyday living. So Gemini, let's see what's going on for you. There's a lot going on for you. Now, we like to look at your ruling planet and see what that's doing because that's going to affect you the most. So Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to be in the sign of Virgo until the 18th of the month. So I think it's from the 2nd to the 18th of the month. Mercury seems to be moving very fast. It's been switching signs quickly. So Mercury and Virgo, Mercury rules the sign Virgo. You share the rulership with Virgo. So this is its best placement. Does so well in the sign of Virgo, but there's definitely themes of like analysis paralysis because Virgo's the analyzer, Mercury's home, so we can get really caught up in overanalyzing, so we need to be aware of that, okay? Now, so that's going to be squaring you because Virgo is a mutable earth sign and you are a mutable sign, Gemini. So it makes that 90-degree angle. So there may be some challenges there. You're usually moving too quickly to care about analyzing. So it's important to make sure that you do analyze, but don't get caught up in that loop. Now, once Mercury moves on the 18th of the month into Libra, Libra's an air sign. You're an air sign, you'll make a trine, a positive aspect. So things will get lighter for you later in the month after the 18th. Now, what else do we have? We know that Mars has been hanging out in the sign of Libra, which is an air sign, which is trining you. And then it's going to move into Scorpio on the 22nd. So take advantage of the planet of motivation in a positive aspect to you. If you can not get caught up in the overanalyzing and could just make a decision. Sometimes we just have to make the decision, even if it's the wrong one, just do the best we can and then make the decision and deal with it. Okay. So Mars trining you in the air sign of Libra until September 22nd. Now, all the planets that are in Virgo makes a sextile to you. So that's a positive aspect. So you have positive energy with everything going on in Virgo, which is Venus is there, Mercury was there. Well, we know Mercury's there, and the sun will be there until about the 22nd of the month. So that works for you. And then it'll move into Libra. The sun will move into Libra, which will trine you. So that's positive. You also have a positive trine with Pluto that's going to be going on for many, many years. Pluto in the air sign of Aquarius. So there's lots of themes. Pluto's going to bring in change. Uranus is in your sign, one of the heavy hitter planets, the oh wow planet. And that's in Gemini right now. And it's going to retrograde, but you're going to get it back. So you're going to be dealing with Uranus for a few years there. So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just that new things can show up and new opportunities can show up, but anything can show up is the point with Uranus there. And Uranus likes to break apart the things that do not work and make room for new. And you already have a trine with Pluto that's doing that for you also, transforming. So just watch, observe the transformation happening and do what you can do. Take forward action step by step with some analysis, but not too much. Now, these full moons, when we have the Pisces full moon this month, Pisces is a mutable sign. So that is going to be squaring you. So the full moon is going to be an intense one for you this month. Let me just go through here because I have all my cheat sheets from the month ahead. And I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. We know that Uranus is going to be, first of all, we know Mercury is going to be in Virgo. And I wrote down, get your ducks in a row. Okay. And then Mercury is going to square Uranus on the 3rd and its feathers will be ruffled. And then Uranus retrograde starts. So everything can change. Keep the original plan handy just in case and move forward. Now, Uranus retrograde starts on September 6th. It's going to go till February of next year. And there's themes about like a pendulum swinging back and forth and that you might embrace the very things that you once found objectionable, which I think is interesting. Ideas will dawn on you and changes will be long lasting. That's great. Now, that full moon on the 7th and the lunar eclipse, I wrote down for the moon and for this full moon in general, anything on weak ground will collapse and it may feel intense. Okay, we have to get honest with ourselves and we have to clear away the old. Remember, Saturn is hanging out in Pisces. It just moved back into Pisces on September 1st, which is squaring you. So the planet of responsibility is squaring you. You're going to get to see what isn't working, what's going to be removed on the 7th. Just go with it and make the best of it, and don't fight the change is really the bottom line. Now, there's a few other things. Let's see. There is Mercury cazimi the sun in Virgo. And basically what that means is that Mercury will move into the heart of the sun, where it's the most brilliant in Virgo. Mercury is, because it's exalted position. And this is going to be conjunct together with the South Node, the past. So this is on September 13th. And there's going to be feelings of been there, done that. You want to clear out the worry, focus on the task at hand, listen, call upon resources, ask for help, advice, guidance, and stay determined. Okay, Mercury cazimi the sun is considered a really great aspect. Now, I also find it interesting that the last quarter moon on September 14th is in your sign of Gemini. So the last quarter moon is like we built something as the moon was dark, and then we're going to get to the last quarter before we go back into the new moon, right? So we're at the last quarter. So think on your feet. Live in the moment, do what you have to do, let people believe what they want to believe to get through this rough passage. Don't lie, but don't correct false assumptions. You will be thankful for this decision later. That's going to be an interesting one to see after 9/14 to see what came up. I think we won't really understand that one till afterwards. Now, Mercury on the 17th is going to be opposite Saturn, which is retrograding, and you want to be really careful because what you see isn't necessarily what you'll get. So don't sign any important documents. This is for everyone, but this is more for you, Gemini, because this is your ruling planet, okay? Now, you may feel pressure to seal the deal. You may feel like the window of opportunity is coming, but still don't do it. Okay, there's more information to come. So Mercury, your ruler, enters Libra on the 18th, and then it's going to oppose Neptune. And this is where the advice is don't give in to bullies. Don't lock horns. Stand your ground. This is a standoff, not a fight. Stay in your corner. Don't change your position. And just stay on your side of the dividing line. All right. So a lot happening. Mercury is part of the almost grand trine, and I'm calling it almost because it's just short of a real official grand trine, but I'm still calling it a trine. Okay. So a trine is a positive aspect, a grand air trine. When we have planets in each of the air signs, we kind of went through this. We have Mercury trine Uranus and Pluto. That's on the 19th of the month. And this could be a really positive day for you, Gemini. People can help you. Rules and laws can work in your favor. You're not alone. Don't isolate yourself. Get in touch with old friends, new friends, business associates, agencies, human resources, and helpers. You can receive quick results. You'll be sextile the Virgo new moon and solar eclipse on the 20th. Just keep an eye on your health. Make sure you're not burning the candle on both ends. Don't overspend and make the most out of that. Okay, anything else that I need to tell you? I think that's a lot. All right, that's a real lot. And, Gemini, I know you like to keep it light and fun, and you have some challenges, but these challenges are here to clear away the dead wood and to clear away what doesn't work and make space for all that new good stuff. Uranus and Gemini, I really think that things can just show up and the things that you've been waiting for. And so at least we see some movement. Now, let's give you a few cards. Let's just see what your themes are. Let's start with the dice. See what your themes are for the month. We rolled Gemini. We rolled Neptune, Gemini, 4th house. So we rolled Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion, the planet of great healing, of creativity, and a karmic sign, right? A karmic sign breaking old cycles. You got it in your own sign of Gemini in the fourth house, which is the house of the home. So you may have, there may be some, what could there be? Neptune, Gemini, fourth house. So it's your own sign, fourth house, Neptune. Okay, so it's like I'm thinking about illusion and delusion. There could be creativity. There could be a lot of writing. Your home could be changing. You may not know exactly what's going on in your living situation. There's themes like that. Or you could be traveling. That's another thing. All right, let's put a couple cards on the table and see what those have to say. We've got one here from the Curious Travels. I'm going to put one here from the Magical Hours. Let's put one down on the table from the Pastoral Tarot, one of these beautiful French countryside. And let's get a spirit animal on the table for you for the month of September for Gemini. And let's see what we've got going on. Your first card is the Four of Pentacles. It took me a while to realize that those are all people out there. This looks like a runway, like models walking a runway. The person's head is kind of tilted down, like they're really focused on the value here, maybe the money they're making. But you got a large group of people cheering you on, and that's very Aquarius. And you have a trine going on with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. So it looks like you got a fan club back there. Now, that's the second four you've rolled. Let's see what else we have. We have the King of Swords. This is a Gemini king. Isn't that a cool version of a king? Now, he is calm, cool, and collective. He's regal and magnificent. The King of Swords, you're in your power here, Gemini. Looks like you're focused on your career, focused on what's important, what's of value here. Now you have the Page of Wands, who's on an adventure. We already had themes here. It looked like you were traveling. Okay, so Page of Wands wants to go have a good time. Now let's see what your spirit animal is for the month. And you got the moose, and it says wisdom. Let your head and mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you. You know much. Look at that beautiful moose. All right. So, moose, even though I know they're huge and I know they seem very intimidating, I've personally had some really cool experiences with moose in my short time in Alaska, and they're vegetarians, and they are magnificent vegetarians, and it's amazing they can also swim. You wouldn't even know that. And so they're almost misunderstood, and so there's a little bit of theme of that, just being your unique self, surprising people. There's a lot of energy of travels and adventures and you being fully in your power. I like that you have like a big head of horns here as the King of Swords, and then the moose has that huge rock of horns there also, which is really cool to see. This guy's got a pentacle on his head. So this looks pretty fun, Gemini, I gotta tell you. So let's go more into detail here. Let's put a few cards on the table about your career, or if you're not working, where you're putting a lot of your attention, whether you're raising kids, volunteering, going to school. So we're just going to put a few cards into this pile here. We're going to call it work. And now we're going to make another pile about love. And if you're not in a relationship, this could be about finding love, maintaining the love you have. It could be new friends, people that you love, family, things like that. Let's put a couple cards into that pile. And then we're going to put some cards up at the top for your biggest obstacle this month, and then your biggest gift of the month, okay? Biggest opportunity. Let's go again up at the top with the biggest challenge and the largest opportunity there, okay? So let's see what we've got. Let's start with career. And we've got the Queen of Cups. So we've got some royalty energy showing up here. She looks like she's collected a bunch of sea glass and shells, and very, very beautiful. Okay, so we've got Queen energy, Water Queen. You rolled Neptune, creative, emotional energy. You have the Six of Cups, which is all about reminiscing, and you see these two kids kind of playing together. Six of Cups. So almost looks, getting along well, harmonious energy. And then the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card of hard work. And I like how her artwork is coming to life there as the fox kind of comes out of the painting. So you've got a card of hard work, you've got a creative queen, and you've got some people playing well together. So this is good, harmonious teamwork, creative energy, and, she's working on her masterpiece there. So beautiful. All these pentacles on the shelf. Looks like there's no lack of funding or monies. Now, let's see what's going on in the love department. We have the Devil card here, and we got the Wolf. Got all these sheep around. So the Devil card asks us who's in control, who has the power. Sometimes this can be a card of manipulation or power struggles. And so we've got the Devil showing up in your love pile. We also have the King of Cups. You had the Queen of Cups over here in the work pile. You've got the King of Cups here. The King of Creativity, and a very emotionally available man, I guess you could say, even though the cards really are non-gender. And the Wheel of Fortune with the evil eye up at the top. This is a Sagittarius card, and interesting with the snake going down the middle. Okay, so you got two major arcanas and a king in your love. The Wheel of Fortune shows me like time passing, and it could be travels because we already saw things about you possibly being traveling. King of Cups. King of Cups feels good in the love pile, although it could be very emotional. Let me get a clarifying card of why the Devil card is showing up in your love pile. And it's the Chariot. I've got these two horses here. And let me put one more, and it's the Ten of Swords. Okay. So you may be moving forward from something. Maybe there was some manipulative person in here. Let me see. Was this a love relationship? Because we said it could be friends, it could be family. What was the manipulative? Oh, we got a couple here. We got the World and the Moon. So the Moon sometimes tends to relate to the mother. The World card is showing the ending of something. The Chariot, they look like a couple. The Ten of Swords. Hold on, let me just see. Is this about love? Six of Swords. Okay, the Six of Swords shows somebody moving forward. It almost looks like a mother and child. So I do think that this has more family vibes to it than it does love, or maybe your relationship is affecting the family. Let me just see. Why is the Devil card coming up? What is it trying to tell us? And the Six of Wands, forward movement. All right, well, if you've been feeling some kind of manipulation in a relationship, and I was getting more family vibes or even a parent, it's showing that your move forward is important and it works. It's the right thing. Here's the Magician. There's some sense about, like, there's almost like danger with that Devil card because it's like a wolf and there's a bunch of sheep and the farmer's sleeping. And then the Magician shows up. So I think that it's kind of like almost like you getting on the road here. Actually, maybe you're leaving behind an old relationship. It seems like that's a good thing, even almost out of safety even, okay? So if somebody comes back into your life, because we know we have a lot of South Node activity going on in the sign of Virgo. So if you feel like somebody's showing back up this month and they're like, act like they've changed, they probably haven't. And if you, let me just see one more thing. Page of Swords, arrow shot ahead. Okay. There's nothing good for you there. Okay. If somebody resurfaces or tries to rekindle something with you, could even be one of your parents. Maybe you've had an estranged parent. Maybe you've had not a great relationship with one of your parents, but it's kind of showing me that nothing's changed. Okay, nothing's going to be different here. And just trust the feeling. Don't overanalyze it and get too far into it because I don't really think that there's anything there for you. Okay, I don't think this is your love life. I think this is your family. I think this has something to do with a parent. Okay, now let's go up here to the biggest obstacle for the month is the Seven of Cups, which is usually about lack of clarity. So you have to trust feeling when the Seven of Cups comes in because it's not all going to be clear and you're going to want the logical answer. but it's foggy. And the death card, okay? And death is change and transformation. So there's going to be some big changes. You may not have some clear answers exactly to what's going on. You have to trust your sense of feeling and intuition to bring you forward. Let's see what your greatest gift of the month is, your biggest opportunities. The Tower. It's actually a reverse tower. So it should go like this. This is an expression of Uranus, and the oh wow, it's coming up as an opportunity. Something could show up out of the blue. And the Eight of Swords is coming up as your biggest opportunity. And she's consumed with her thoughts, and there's a full moon behind her. So, and then with Uranus there, you could just receive a storyline, you could get a piece of information, and you just run with it, okay? So I would encourage you to be writing this month, following intuition. It does feel like, it feels very powerful when we started off with these 4 cards, and work stuff seems to be progressing well. There's a little bit of disarray here happening over in the love department, but again, I think it fell into family, and I think that there's some harsh realities about somebody in your family that you need to accept. They haven't changed. They may come back asking for your attention again, and they just haven't changed, okay? And they aren't very grounded either. Now, the challenge is going to be the change and the lack of clarity amongst the change, but the opportunity could be something big. Something can show up, something maybe you have been thinking about for a long time. New ideas, and her eyes are blindfolded up here, so she's got to go inward. So you may receive a message in a dream. Write these things down, and when the opportunity shows up, it is a huge opportunity for you. Thanks for joining me, Gemini.